welcome back. I was in Hobby Lobby last week. Oh, I'm knocking things over. And I saw this Master's Touch pouring medium. I was looking for this Basics matte fluid medium because I like using that. But when I saw this, I thought I might give it a try. For one, Master's Touch stuff goes on sale quite a bit, and Master's Touch was actually on sale 50% off last week. So I got it at a nice $4.50, which is a good price. Now this is compared to this, it's pretty much the same price. I mean, I didn't do the math, but this is 8.79 ounces and this is 7.98 ounces, and you can get this for $4 something on like Dick Blick. So this is pretty comparative. Now it's obviously more expensive than like Floetrol, but if you're looking for more of an art-based product, I thought, well, this might give it a go. It sounds a little bit thin. It's in a not a clear bottle, which kind of annoys me. So we'll have to wait and see. I also went ahead and bought some glue all in case this is like super thin, and I think I need something to like stabilize or thicken it up, or whatever. So I won't mix all of the colors on camera because that would get kind of boring. But let's do one. Let's do the magenta. So I have pearl magenta, pearl turquoise, pearl space gray, and pearl lime green. So I wasn't going to use anything that I already had mixed up because I want to make sure I'm using everything Master's Touch, just so we could see how it behaves. So I'm just going to use the rest of this, and I will be really upset if it doesn't work out well. I bought this last week and I was so ready to try it. I was very excited, and then my selfie stick broke and I was really bummed because I wanted to mix this on camera so you guys could see it, so I didn't want to try it. Well, that's a really small little spout, isn't it? Burp. We're going to do the same thing I would do with Floetrol. I'm going to do 50-50 or thereabouts. I mean, obviously I'm not like using a scale or anything. This is pretty thin. It's thinner than Floetrol. I would kind of like to try. Oh, look, it's I don't think you can see that. You see it? Can you see it on the sides? It almost looks yellowish, doesn't it? You know what I'm gonna do real quick while I have you guys, while it's still on camera, I am going to, that's not a good thing to use. Here, I have a canvas panel that still has the plastic on it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let that cool and dry, and we'll see if it dries completely clear or a little bit yellowish, because it almost looks yellowish in that cup. However, this is obviously a cup I used before. Maybe it's reacting to, because there was some silicone in the paint. I peeled it off, but I don't know. Maybe it's reacting to something. Interesting. Okay, so it's still quite thick. Look at that. I'm going to add a little bit more. It didn't seem to really thin it down much. This is kind of an interesting product. I'm going to have to add quite a bit of water. I'm not going to add any glue because this is still quite thick. This is really interesting. I would have thought if I added that much Floetrol, it would be thinner than that. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to add more water to this than I normally would. I think with Floetrol, I'm assuming, let's see if this says anything while I'm stirring. I'm going to read. Creates even puddles, poured sheets, and fluid color application. Won't crack or hold bubbles while drying. Retains high gloss, which is maybe why it looked kind of funny on the side of the cup actually. Retains high gloss and wet appearance when dry. Lightweight, non-toxic, and dries to water-resistant, non-yellowing surface. That's interesting too. So you can almost use it as a little bit of a varnish, because you could, if it's water-resistant, you know, you could clean it with a damp cloth or whatever. Oh, that got really thin. Okay, let me do my custard test. Oh, actually, that looks pretty good. I know I get comments sometimes I use a thicker paint than others, and I do, but you know, that's about right for my for my like. But anyway, as I was saying, it's interesting. It does say that it will dry within, or allow 24 hours to dry, I guess. It's interesting that it's water water resistant, because then, you know, you can wipe your painting off with a damp cloth to, you know, clean it or whatever. Art Sherpa says, varnishing is basically for non-professionals or whatever. You can varnish to make it kid safe. So if kids grab a sticky painting, you sell a painting and somebody's kids grab it with sticky fingers or whatever, then it's white. You can wipe it with a damp cloth and clean it off. So this would definitely do that. Where is it? Oh. Woo! We watched A Dog's Journey this evening, and man, I am still torn up. Yeah, it has almost, I guess it's the gloss that I'm seeing, because it almost has a sheen to it. But I think that's because it's a gloss. So this will be interesting. I'll definitely have the end result at the end of the video. I won't post it until it's dry. It says clear, but this is looking yellowish against the thing too. So we're gonna see, and I'll have I'll wait till the painting is dry and that little sample that I put on that canvas panel is dry, so we can see. It's interesting, because I'm not sure it's doing a lot than the paint. Maybe I'm not adding, maybe it just looks like I'm adding more. Maybe I should add that first and then the paint. I don't know, because it is a tiny spout. Okay, I'm just going to keep mixing. I don't think you need to watch me mix 4 colors. So when I'm done mixing this one, I'll pause the tape till I'm done. But it mixes well. I will say though, once you start adding water, it seems to thin out faster than like if it was just paint. Ooh, that's really thin. I may need to add. Oh, actually, this one's kind of hard to see. I may add just a little bit more paint to that, just a tad, thicken it up just a hair bit. It doesn't seem like it's thinning the paint when I add it, but then when I add the water, it thins out really fast. So like faster than it would if it was just paint that thick. So interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna mix the other 2 colors and then I'll be back to do the painting. Okay, I've got all my colors mixed, and I'm just gonna say that if you use this product, add your water even slower than you normally would, because it goes from like still thick to very, very fluid really fast. So add that water carefully. I'm going to add a drop of silicone to each color. This is just Spot On treadmill belt lubricant, and I'm going to stir it in really, really well. I personally don't subscribe to the theory that a little bit of mixing is better than a lot of mixing. I've tried it both ways, and I don't see any reason not to mix it in very, very well. So my blue one is a little bit thicker than the other ones, but I'm okay with that. Stir, stir, stir. All right, let's get these sticks out of here. I'm just gonna do a flip cup, because I think it's just a quick and easy way to see what the paint's gonna do. Got a canvas here. Make sure I get it just right. Whoa, what happened to I lost a little thingamajig. Hang on. Okay, so I got my canvas. Get a cup here. Oops, let's get a clean cup. Alright, I'm just gonna do probably 2 layers of each. Go kind of easy with the dark gray. Super pretty, almost galaxy-ish colors. Now I do notice bubbles, but it did say that it would dry without bubbles. So I'm not going to worry about them. I think I might have a couple lumps in that silver or in that gray. Use the rest of that pink. And the rest of the green, actually. Okay, let's get those out of the way. And let's pour and see what this stuff does. I'm really excited to try it. I kind of like it. I like the idea that it dries glossy and kind of water resistant already. So let's plop it over. Whoa. Gosh, got my arm stuck under there. That's a first. Okay, and I've got my torch here, so we can torch it when we lift it. Okay, ready? Nope. Sound effects as always. Quite helpful. Oh gosh, that's pretty. Okay. Let me torch it real quick before we tilt. Some cells popping up, aren't there? All on their little lonesome. Not tons, but we just flipped it, so let's see what happens when we tilt. If they stretch well. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna add, pour some of this over here on the corners, because I don't think I have quite enough paint. I know I don't have enough paint. It doesn't seem to gone super far. I'm almost out of this pink. Oh my gosh, these corners. I don't know if you can see them. Can you see them? I wonder if I can zoom in. I'm gonna be very careful. You see that? Is it? Oh, those corners with that last bit of paint. Gorgeous. Okay, let's keep tilting here because this is really neat. It is selling really nicely. I just do not have enough paint. That was my fault. But look at those cells. Really pretty. There aren't a ton of them all over, but again, if I had more paint, there would be. And they're stretching quite nicely, aren't they? I'm really quite happy with this stuff. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, because I mean, look at those. They're holding their shape. Quite nice. All right, so what I'm going to do is I really like that. I'm going to mix. I'm not going to do it on camera because that would bore you. Do I have more? I'm going to mix the rest of this up real quick, and then I'm going to pour around the edge so that we have some nice negative space. You know what I might do? I have some silver. Oh gosh, I have tons of silver. I think I have more silver than any other color except maybe Payne's Gray. I'm going to mix silver and the rest of this pearl space gray, and I'm going to pour it right here. Okay, so I did have some of this already mixed. I didn't use the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cup with the leftovers, and I'm going to pour some of this, some of the silver, some of this, and some of the silver. I am really digging this. I mean, they got a little bit wonky here, but the cells really held their shape very well. I'm pretty happy with this. Happier than I've been with Floetrol. This summer, for some reason, I don't know if it's the heat or what, but my pours with just Floetrol have not made me as happy as normal. So I'm just going to do dirty pour right along this edge. And I'm hoping some of that extra color from the bottom will sort of come out. Let's see if we can get some of it. Maybe it's gonna stay in the bottom. Oh my gosh, look at this cup. There, is that not super pretty? Okay, I'm just a little bit excited. I'm gonna swipe that out a little bit because I don't want to tilt too much because I'm really, really happy with that. So I've got these name tag labels, and I know this is a waste of the label part. I've got to find a place to stick these that they can come unstuck, so I'm not just wasting them. But it's too heavy with them on here. I've tried swiping with this part on here, and it's just too heavy. It weighs it down, and it doesn't swipe well. So it swipes much better like this. Let's try this. I'm trying to be gentle. I'm trying to be too gentle, I think. Okay. Wipe that off because for the most part, I just want this background stuff. Now we can see what it does with a swipe. And I did put, because that paint's really thick. I did put some silicone in that silver too, in case anybody was wondering. I mixed it exactly the same. I mixed it with that mixture of paint, Master's Touch pouring medium, and a drop of silicone. I mean, that's pretty cool. I just want to make sure, although it's pretty thick around here, and you know what, I'm going to leave that because that's a good test to see how well it dries when it's a little bit thicker on the canvas. Make sure we don't get any crazing or anything. Okay, and you know what, I'm going to leave this part alone and this part alone except for the edges, and leave it that stripey look because I like it. Like I said, it's a bit thick, but we're just going to see what happens. I'll do some close-ups here, and then I'll record again as soon as it's dry so you can see this and then that puddle pour that I did of just the pouring medium so we can see how clear it dries and all that. Okay, let's do some close-ups. Okay. Oh, that's super cool. Here's those cells. It got, like I said, they got a little bit wonky, but they held together. So be sure to, ooh, that's pretty right there. Stick around for the dried result. We'll see you in just a bit with the, where did it go? With the Master's Touch pouring medium. Okay, we are 24 hours later, almost. It's been about 20 hours since I poured this, and it is completely dry. It was mostly dry first thing in the morning when I got up several hours ago. It was just a hair bit tacky. So it dried pretty fast, and it actually dried really nicely. It didn't change or move at all after I left it, which is nice. It's nice and shiny, like it said. And even right here where there was like more paint, it didn't spread out or anything. So I like that. I like knowing that I'm going to leave a painting and come back to the same one. That was like one of the first things I really tried to conquer with this fluid art thing. So, and it almost looks 3D. Like I can't feel these. It's completely flat, but it almost looks 3D here. So I'm kind of pumped about this pouring medium. So I can't wait to try it. I'm going to try it again here pretty soon with like basics, opaque colors, like some Nova colors, some more heavy body paint. So if you want to see me continue to test this pouring medium, you can check out, or you can hit the subscribe and notification bell. If you have any requests with this, let me know. And I did want to show you this little thing that I poured to, this little puddle. It dried really well. It's completely dry. I don't think it's completely clarified. There is still some water, still are some water molecules in there. It's a little bit cloudy still. You can see it peels up really well and it's completely clear. So really nice pouring medium. And like I said, if there's anything you want to see with it, let me know. I am willing to test this with all kinds of things. So until then, guys, happy pouring.